Most people swipe their credit card and get a couple of pennies back. I swiped mine and I turned $2,500 in rewards into over $14,000 in less than 8 months. That's not hype, that's actually my 2020 and 2021 play. And the crazy part, the tools are still here to do this today. In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the 3 best crypto cards: Gemini, crypto.com, and ether.fi, and their perks, their hidden downsides, and how you can turn everyday spending into a real passive income strategy. Stick until the end because I'm gonna actually show you step by step how I did it back then and how I'm doing it again now. Okay, so let's start with crypto.com, all right? Crypto.com is a card that came out, I think around like 2018. I actually started using it back in 2019. And at the time, I ended up with this card right here, this Jade Green card, which right now you would need $5,000 in CRO to stake, $5,000 worth of CRO to stake right now in order to get this 3% on everyday spending, which you still can get, which is, not bad, 3%. The issue is now they actually put a cap on it. So they put a cap of monthly rewards of $75. So that's cool, but the coin does have to appreciate over time. Now, you can get up to 10% right here on travel rewards, which is great. And you get all sorts of other things. You get like 6 months of Spotify and Netflix. That used to be like indefinite. You would get Spotify and Netflix. And then you get airport lounges, which honestly, I tried to get into like some of these airport lounges, and they did not recognize me as a person who could get in when I would show them my crypto.com card, unfortunately. Some of these other cards, they look really juicy. You can make up to 4%, but you got to stake up to $50,000 worth of CRO. And that's quite a bit. This one's 5%, you get back cash back, but you have to spend 500,000 or stake, but you have to stake 500,000 worth of CRO. And then this one is $1 million bucks, you get 8%, and there's no limit in regards to your monthly cap. The thing is, though, there's no limit up to a certain point because you can only actually spend up to $25,000 on this account. And you can see here, top aggregated top-up limit of $25,000 per month. So that's the most that you can actually spend. And that's kind of crappy if you ask me. And especially if you're a high roller and you're spending like $1 million to stake in CRO for 8% on $25,000, that does not make financial sense to me. But this one right here, maybe for the $29 per month, if you take a look, if you spend $29 per month, or this one for $4.99 per month, that might make a little bit more financial sense than definitely this one. Now, you do get like some things here, but some extra things like voice support, and it's just not worth it. To be quite honest with you, it's just not worth it. You get like exclusive experiences. You just have to do the math on it. Now, let's take a look at what Kronos has done, which is crypto.com's coin. I'm going to show you how I made lots and lots of money in 2019 all the way up to 2020. But you can see here where I really crushed it. Where I really crushed it was up here with the all-time high of about 96 cents. Now, on my example that I'm going to show you, it was just a short period of time. I made a lot more money on this, but when I show you my example, it's for way less, but you're going to even see like the smallest part of the example, which is still fantastic because it's actually what I did and exactly where I took profit. But we can see here that over the last few months, like crypto.com has made somewhat of a comeback here. All right. Even if I would have just kept compiling my crypto.com that I had from back then, I would still be in massive profit, but I did sell it and I did use it and I enjoyed that money. But you can see here, it kind of has spiked up to like 28, 29 cents, and now it's back down to 20 cents. However, right here, you can take a look. If you take a look at the maximum here, so if you would have like started accumulating crypto.com all the way back here, where that was when they first launched their token, you'd have a gain of 878% plus whatever you compounded. Now, this right here, this downturn was a very scary time, all right? And this is where I actually sold my crypto.com, even the one that I had staked, which I wish I wouldn't have, but I did. And I ended up, still making some money, but it was like double my money. It wasn't like, 10x. But if I would have held on to it all this time and kept accumulating points in CRO, I would be way, way up, but that was not the way the cookie crumbled. One last thing about the crypto.com card, this is a prepaid card, all right? So it's not like an actual debit or a credit card. It is prepaid, and you basically just keep topping it up. Now, it does have your name on it, and you can spend it anywhere in the world. So this is one that I do keep in my back pocket. I just don't take advantage of all of the perks these days. Now, the next card that we're going to talk about is the Gemini card. The Gemini card is actually a credit card, and unlike the crypto.com card, which is a Visa, this one is a MasterCard. And the cool thing about this card is you get to actually select which crypto you want to receive rewards in. So like right here, you have like this Bitcoin card that you can get Bitcoin back in rewards. And if you're not interested in going through the ups and downs of crypto.com, then that's definitely a viable option. Now, you do get a $200 Bitcoin bonus when you sign up and you spend your first $3,000 in the first 90 days. And the cool thing is there is no annual fee. But take a look at this. So like if you would have had this credit card and you would have started back here in October 8th of 2021 to April of 2025, and you would have held the Bitcoin that you would have spended here, you would have ended up with a positive 176% return. Now, that all depends on how much you had, right? Like how much you had in terms of accumulation at that point in time. So here are the rewards. And this is the thing that I don't necessarily like, because it's like, you get 4% back on gas, EV charging. Like I really don't spend that much on gas anymore, or even rideshare anymore. I don't go out necessarily to, spend on dining. However, we are looking at this for one of our corporate cards, the 3% dining, because we do go out with our corporate card every once in a while. And then we get 2% back on groceries, which is okay. And then 1% cash back on everything else. Now, the benefit, again, you get access to, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you can see here, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Pepe, Dogecoin, USDC, Gemini Dollar, Chainlink, Shiba Inu, Polygon, and AMP, which I have no clue why anybody would want AMP, but those are the cryptos that you can earn. So this is a cool one. If you want to earn in the crypto that you're like most bullish, that's probably in like the top 20. Let's say, for instance, you had the XRP card, which it just came out, so you weren't able to get XRP before then, but you have the XRP card from back in the day. You would have had, if you would have been spending, that's basically like dollar cost averaging into XRP. So you'd be up, like, depending on when you were spending, up to like 10x your points, which, by the way, no other like airline or, like Amazon card is going to be able to give you the potential for this. Now, it can go down in price, but that's why you're kind of like dollar cost averaging into these, which I really like. And obviously, you can see here, Bitcoin also did really, really well during this time. Solana did well. Ethereum, not so well, but still, if you're swiping, you would have caught price action at different points in time. And this is seriously a very, very viable strategy, in my opinion, to make some real money, not just some crappy points, but to really, really start stacking away crypto. And especially if you have a business, man, you can put your business expenses, imagine you can put your business expenses like advertising, shoot, if you can put the rent on it. I know a lot of places you can pay with rent with a credit card now, dining, all that stuff. You'd be better off doing this way better than some crappy rewards thing that you have going on with your airline or with Amazon or your grocery store, whatever. Okay, now the one that I'm really, really bullish on right now is ether.fi. And I've done a couple of videos. You can check those videos out right here and right here. And essentially those videos talk about like, what ether.fi is. This is a place that weaves in DeFi and traditional finance. And I actually just started using this about 15 or 16 days ago. And essentially what it is I'm able to transfer my Ethereum. I can earn 5%, which I'm earning right here. You can see I'm earning 5% on this Ethereum per year. okay? And not just that, but every single time I spend with this card, I'm actually earning 3% per purchase. Now, the crappy part is I get this scroll coin, which is like not so good. And I'm going to show you the price action on scroll. It's like whatever. It's like a dead coin. But what I intend to do is every single month, I'm going to roll this into like Ethereum or one of my managed vault tokens, which trades Ethereum or trades Bitcoin or trades Solana. And I'm going to basically grow it from there. I don't plan on keeping it in scroll, and I plan on just compounding it. But I want to start using this card for everyday purchases because, again, there's no catch. It's just you put your money in. You don't need to stake your CRO. You don't need, you don't have this tiered thing where it's like 4% for this or 3% for that or 2% for that, like on the Gemini card. And this one is a Visa, and you get the virtual Visa instantly. It's super quick, super cool. And you can see here, I've already started earning like $2.14, or it says I've earned $2.53, but the price of scroll has gone down since then. But again, it's not just that. I'm also earning on my Ethereum. Now, I plan on paying this back every single month. Okay, I'm just going to pay it back. And then as I want to increase my limit, what I'll do is I'll just bring more Ethereum over here and I'll earn 5%. It's not as much as, our strategies in our vaults are earning right now, but still it's way better. And I can just keep paying that off every single month and earning 3% with no cap. This, in my opinion, takes us back to like the crypto.com days where you could really, really make a lot of money with some caveats, right? Now, before we get into my personal story, here's something important. Knowing which card to use is only step one. The real edge is knowing what to actually do with those rewards. That's where our Galaxy program comes in. Inside Galaxy, we teach you step-by-step how to bridge traditional finance with DeFi, how to take the crypto you're earning from these cards and put it to work in yield strategies, staking, and passive income systems. If you want more than just information and you want to actually implement these types of strategies, check out the link below and join Galaxy today. All right, let's move on to how I actually made a grip of money. And this is a very, very small case study that I did for students back in the day that I think is going to crush now. But this is something that I actually did. And had I not have done it, I would not be here being able to put these pieces of the puzzles together. All right, so this is my spending with my crypto.com card. So I was spending more or less $10,000 per month on this card. I was using it for like business expenses back then. And I was earning, as you can see here, about 3% per purchase, okay, back then. And the cool thing back then, there was no cap on how much you could make, okay? So I was earning about $300 per month in CRO, okay? So I would get like a certain amount of CRO, and I went many, many months where I was accumulating that CRO. Now, the average price that I was accumulating that CRO at was about 3.3 cents. All right, so 3.3 cents, so 0.033. All right, for those of you that want to get technical. Now, by 12/13 of 2019, I had roughly around 75,000 CRO, so 75,700, which was a value of approximately, more or less at that time, about 2,500. And so what I ended up doing was I took that CRO and I started staking it for about 18%. Okay, now this was from the time period of 12/31/2019 to 8/26 of 2020. And the cool thing was that I was able to earn an additional 9,090 CRO. So the pro rata share of 18%, which is when I pulled that money out, was actually 12%. Okay, because I didn't go the whole year, but the annual interest rate that they were guaranteeing me at that time was 18%. The cool thing, though, was by the time I pulled that money out, CRO had gone to about 17 cents, as you can see here. And, as I showed you, it actually went up even higher. It went up to all the way up to 97 cents. And those were like the heydays. Like I was spending my money on that and I was just getting a ton of CRO and it was just mooning and mooning and mooning. So I really wouldn't touch it. And then, once it really started to get like up there in terms of price, I actually started yield farming it on Chronos, which was a whole nother story. And I started making all sorts of other money, but I was spending it. You want to spend your profits, guys. You do want to spend a little bit of this money because sometimes it can go away. But in this study, I actually did pull out 14,424 from just spending and then taking that and staking it and getting that extra yield. Now, before you go, the new strategy that I was talking about a little bit earlier with ether.fi and converting that into managed vault tokens looks like this. So this is our managed vault that trades Ethereum to the long and the short side. So what I plan on doing is just maxing out that card as much as I can every month, growing the Ethereum inside of there so I get a larger limit. And then what I will use that scroll, I will convert it into my managed vault tokens that aren't paying me 18% per year. It's doing approximately 8.37% per month. And this has been as high as like 13% per month. All right. So in like 1 month, I can do what I was doing almost in 1 year before. Okay. And I just keep stacking this and stacking this. This for me is a way better strategy than the old strategy because it's going to lead to way more profit. But you got to be thinking really smart. You got to use all of these tools. Stop thinking about all these airline miles and all this garbage out there when you can be thinking like this and earning way more money. If you're looking for ways to dollar cost average, this is the way to do it. Not just trying to like muscle your way or bring down, all your expenses, which are good ways to do it, but also finding creative ways where just spending, normal day-to-day spending, you're gonna earn on that. Guys, gals, again, if you're interested in learning more things like this and going deeper into your DeFi journey, deeper into your financial journey, there's a link down below for Galaxy. It's a very, very inexpensive monthly subscription that anybody can do to learn these things to really make some real passive income. So get into this, and I wanna see you in class. All right, cheers, see you on the next one.